Will the audience please stand for the Air Force ROTC Wing Walker Honor Guard to post the colors and the playing of the national anthem.
Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to the Fall 2023 Commencement Ceremony. Please be seated. Good job, students, for realizing that was the next step. My name is Sue Vanderwood, and it is my privilege and my honor to serve as the Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Today we celebrate and recognize the accomplishments of these graduates, but a major accomplishment of this magnitude is never done alone, and so we also celebrate, recognize, and thank our families, friends, and faculty who have helped make today possible. We are so pleased you are all here today, and we thank you for making the time and taking travel to bring us all together. I would like to, at this point, welcome Dr. Naomi Nishi to the podium to begin the ceremony with the acknowledgement of the origins of the land that our university was built upon.
Good afternoon. Let me begin by saying congratulations to all our graduates and their families. I'm honored to introduce the CSU Land Acknowledgement today. As a non-native scholar who has studied settler colonialist ways of knowing and being, I am struck by our constant separation of concepts, theories, life, and lives, as well as land and property. This helps me to realize that our land acknowledgement must encompass things far beyond simplistic ideas like property and ownership. Land is not only soil, rocks, and water. It is plants, animals, people, and spirit. And when we try to separate these entities, we are falling back on the settler colonialist thinking that led to our stealing of lands and necessity of our land acknowledgement in the first place. So I offer this introduction to allow us to think deeply and differently as we reflect on CSU's land acknowledgement.
Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples.
This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other native nations.
We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it.
As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed.
CSU is a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion.
And significantly, that our founding came at a dire cost to Native nations and peoples whose land this university was built upon.
This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment.
Thank you, Dr. Nishi. Let's continue with some key introductions of those you see on the platform today. I will ask each person to rise and remain standing through the introductions. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. First, I would like to present Dr. Jan Nerger, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Colleen Cipriani, Vice President for Inclusive Excellence, Dr. Colin Clay, Professor and Executive Associate Dean of the College, Dr. Sandra Quackenbush, Professor and Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs, Dr. Naomi Nishi, Assistant Dean of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Dr. Naomi Ward, Professor and Head of the Department of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology, Dr. Jennifer McLean, Associate Professor and Associate Department Head for Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology, Dr. Philip Quirk, Assistant Professor and Director of the Undergraduate Neuroscience Program, Dr. Christiane McGee, Associate Professor and Associate Department Head for Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Joshua Schaefer, Associate Professor and Undergraduate Director for the Department of Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences. And Dr. Alex Brandel, Professor and Associate Department Head, Department of Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences. Okay, you can hold, now use your applause and recognize the platform. You may all be seated. Thank you. We would like to now acknowledge those joining us today that have served our great nation. I ask that any active duty or veteran student in the commencement ceremony today please stand at this time, and also any active duty or veterans in the audience, please stand. And then everyone else, please join me in a round of applause to these active duty and veterans that have served or are serving. Thank you for your service. It is now my pleasure to introduce two of our fantastic students that will be delivering today's commencement addresses. We welcome Emily Stewart and Hyatt Vincent to the stage to deliver their remarks. We'll be starting with Emily.
Dear fellow Rams, it was at Colorado State University where I found my voice, and most importantly, learned that it mattered. This afternoon, I encourage every single one of you to walk away with this lesson, or at least be reminded of this truth. My name is Emily Stewart, and I started my undergrad journey back in fall of 2016. Like many of you, I stayed in the dorms and observed how professors and fellow students got along. I often asked myself, is going to college or attending university worth it? Are we really going to change the world or party our lives away? I wondered how I was going to carve out my life here at Colorado State. It was through careful observation and many social interactions where I learned that students and faculty here really care and want to see every one of us succeed. I remember after my first semester, after transferring to neuroscience, Dr. Quirk and Alicia set up a meeting to speak with me. I was worried, and I wondered why they both wanted to talk to me. As I arrived, they asked me how I was doing, and naturally, I broke down into tears. Dr. Quirk and Alicia noticed my grades were poor and wanted to check in on me. They wanted to make sure I was doing okay. I thought I was in trouble. I could see the concern they had for me as they assured me they only did this because they care. They emphasized that they really want to see me do well. I was encouraged and surprised by their actions. There are so many students here, and they noticed my grade slip. Whoa. This small encounter reminded me that even when I think I'm invisible or my presence may be insignificant, it's really not. Each one of us came here with a story, and now we are leaving with a collection of stories to share. The experiences we have created here will carry on with us throughout our lives as we shape the world and our future days to come. So Rams, let's be on the right side of history. Remember, it is the winners who shape today's narratives and write our textbooks. It is important that we speak up when it matters most. Remember that our lives matter, and what we say has an influence on others. I sat with a handful of you during lectures and heard your beautiful thoughts while your hearts touched mine on subjects that were sensitive and truly worth discussing. These subjects included the history of lobotomy on our neurodiverse populations, the consequences and natural occurrences of epigenetics, cancer, and more. I hope that your experience was similar to mine in learning that we can use our voice to lift one another up, to advocate for those who need it, and put our educated insights and change policies that will find answers for future generations to come. As young scientists, we are empowered to communicate to those who may not have the vocabulary to understand or the ability to access our lengthy research papers. As scientists, I humorously say we are really good at creating more questions than we are at finding answers. However, it is our responsibilities to collectively work together so that we can connect the dots for future researchers and policymakers to come. Working together and letting our voices heard is the best form of justice, where diversity and inclusion is glorified. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Hyatt Vincent, and it is my honor to be speaking to you all here today. As we gather here, we recognize the strength and resilience of the Indigenous peoples and greatly value the continued social, intellectual, economic, and cultural contributions to the university and surrounding areas. My non-traditional journey began in 2012, just before my senior year in high school. I experienced sexual assault, which altered the course of my life. Broken, I left home and battled depression, self-doubt, and feelings of worthlessness. But 4 years later, I returned. I became a survivor, finally able to begin healing, and I started classes at Front Range Community College. We all have a certain moment where one person changes the course of our lives. I was taking Psychology 101 at Front Range in fall of 2019. My professor, John Mandley, asked if I was going to apply to the CSU Research Experience for undergrads through the Wolves to Rams program. I had seen the posters for the program, but honestly, I was still holding on to that broken girl. My professor looked me in the eyes and he said, "Apply." And that would be the beginning of my scientific journey. I came to CSU as a transfer student almost a year later, and I remember stepping onto campus for the first time, overwhelmed by the size. I was so afraid of being just a number. But as I began to know CSU, I couldn't have been more wrong. I created another family here. I've endured some of the hardest times of my life here, but everyone made me feel human. I was never just a number. They reminded me that classes are but a small part of our life's journey, but most importantly, they also allowed me to grieve. On March 29th, 2023, I lost my father to HPV-related oropharyngeal cancer. I bring up my father, Stephen John Wyatrowski, because he too graduated from Colorado State University in 1988. He was so proud to be a Ram, stalwart to the very end. I know that wherever he is, he's proud of me and the accomplishments I've achieved. I have entered a field where the number of Native American women professionals is so low, precise statistics are unobtainable. I look to the inspirational women who have broken those glass ceilings and overcome immense barriers, trailblazing a path for people like me. I know it is our turn to continue their work and pave the way for others. Inclusion here at CSU is not a quota or meeting a statistical diversity goal. It's about recruiting, engaging, valuing, and retaining people with a passion for science. It's about enabling them to thrive so that they can then help others pursue their dreams. It's about giving that broken, underrepresented girl an opportunity. My grandma has a 6th grade education. My mom was the first to graduate from high school and earn a college degree. And now I'm the first in my family after 30 years to graduate and enter a field that was never imaginable. But this field hasn't been kind to families like mine. Communities of low-income people of color have been exposed to environmental catastrophes as well as subjected to medical experimentation without their consent. And as I've grown as a scientist, I recognize the distrust of the scientific and medical industries within our communities. But class of 2023, it is our duty to ensure those injustices never occur again. We must become the trusted scientists. We can advocate for equitable opportunities so that underrepresented communities may enter and excel within these fields. Because women belong in STEM, people of color belong in STEM, members of the LGBTQ+, they belong in STEM, disabled people belong in STEM. That broken girl, despite all that she's been through, she belongs in STEM. Being a scientist is not about what you achieve for yourself, but in how you and your research uplift and empower those around you. For greatness is not found in the solitude of a lab, but in the collective strength of the diversity of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily and Hyatt, for sharing your experience of resilience and perseverance with us and your colleagues. I'm inspired by your leadership. I wanted to share that if you or someone you know is experiencing sexual abuse and/or assault, that you can contact the CSU's Women and Gender Advocacy Center, which has a 24-hour hotline, 970-492-4242, and visit their website for other resources and support.
Thank you, Emily and Hyatt and Dr. Nishi. Hello, my name is Dr. Sandy Quackenbush, and I serve as the Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs. We are very proud to be here today celebrating with our graduates as they make the transition to the next chapter in their lives. This graduating class has been unique, while we have students that have joined us from California, Texas, Illinois, New Mexico, and Hawaii. 60 of our 66 students, that's 90% of this graduating class, are Colorado residents. This is the highest proportion of Colorado residents that we have graduated at once, and something to be celebrated. We also have 14 of our graduates that are first-generation students. A first-generation college student is one who is the first in their family to attend university. A critical part of our land-grant mission is to provide access to education and to help ensure our community has the opportunity for a college education. The success of our first-generation students in our college and at our university is a point of pride for all of us. It is a pleasure to recognize students who are graduating with distinctions and honors. For students being honored, please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all your colleagues in all categories are introduced. I ask that the audience members hold your applause until all have been recognized and are standing. So let me first start with the students graduating with highest distinction based upon their cumulative grade point average. Summa cum laude graduates are the top 1% of the class. Magna cum laude graduates are the next 3% of the class, and cum laude graduates are the next 6% of the class. These graduates may be wearing gold bachelor's regalia. So Talia Byrne-Haber, Caitlin Johnson, Alejandro Caseta Stoner, and Megan Wampler are graduating summa cum laude. Kaylee Reese is graduating magna cum laude. Kaylee Berry, Sydney Fugate, Kenyon Perkins, Jordan Robinson, Christoph Turbovich, and Hyatt Vincent are graduating cum laude. Candidates graduating at the university as honor scholars or disciplinary honor scholars must complete the honors program course requirements and a thesis while maintaining an overall 3.5 GPA. These students may be wearing green bachelor's regalia. Students, please stand as a group and be recognized as candidates for graduation as honor scholars. These students will be recognized individually as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma. Please join me in applauding their accomplishments of this group of young colleagues. Provost Nerger, it is my pleasure to confirm that each of these students has completed the degree requirements for their program of study and have been recommended by the faculty members in that discipline to receive their academic degree. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Quackenbush. Well, Rams, each of you has traveled a very different journey to arrive at the same destination today, and I also want to thank Hyatt and Emily for giving us a little insight into their journey. You faced your own sets of challenges to get here, and yet here you all are. In earning a college degree, you've done something remarkable that sets you apart from the rest of the people in the world. Less than 7% of the world has a bachelor's degree. You've arrived at a very different place intellectually, socially, and emotionally than when you started your journey here at CSU. And as you prepare to celebrate your amazing accomplishments and pursue your career, remember that you're facing a world that is filled with great promise and opportunity. But right now, we're also facing a world in immense conflict and hardship. You're our future leaders and our change makers. You give us hope that we can lift humanity toward more promise, peace, and prosperity, and away from adversity and hardship. Remember that everything that you have done to this point matters, and everything that you do moving forward will matter as well. We in this room, and those that were unable to be in this room for you, are so deeply proud. College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences graduating class of 2023, this is actually the moment you've worked toward and dreamt about. I'd ask you now to please rise so that I can confer the degrees upon you. It is my sincere honor to formally declare, on behalf of and with the authority of the Board of Governors of the Colorado State University System, I hereby confer the Bachelor of Science degree on each of you, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Guests, family members, and colleagues, please join me in congratulating these wonderful graduates on this significant moment. Congratulations.
Congratulations again. Will our commencement marshal, Chase Weldon, please escort the graduates to the platform. This fall, we are honored to have faculty and staff members nominated to read the student statements. We are joined by Dr. Leslie Stone-Roy, who will announce for Biomedical Sciences, Dr. Olivia Arnold will read for Environmental Health. Dr. Erica Suchman will announce for Microbiology. And Dr. Leslie Stone-Roy will also announce for Neuroscience. Each will read statements about the graduates as they cross the stage. Please hold applause until all graduates from that department have been recognized.
The following graduates of the Department of Biomedical Sciences will be greeted by Associate Department Head, Dr. Tiana McGee. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Alejandra Catalina Quesada Stoner of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, will work as an independent research contractor for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital while applying to MD and PH programs. Brooke Camille Asing of Maui, Hawaii, plans to pursue a master's degree in public health before applying to physician assistant school or medical school in the future. Gina Grace Suleski of Lakewood, Colorado, plans to attend medical school and is currently interested in focusing on immunology and pathology. Kylie Alexis McDonald of Woodland Park, Colorado, plans to take a gap year before applying to medical school. Abigail Brianne Rupp of Cannon City, Colorado, will attend graduate school to pursue a career as a physician assistant. Rachel Lauren Moshik of Schaumburg, Illinois, plans to spend time volunteering and doing the things she loves before pursuing a career. Matthew Cullis of Fort Collins plans to explore career paths in biomedical sciences and engineering. Nathan Joseph Conley of Albuquerque, New Mexico, will pursue medical school. Caitlin Johnson of Grand Junction, Colorado, plans to attend medical school and become a physician. Maya Matsubara of Honolulu, Hawaii, plans to attend medical school with aspirations of becoming a pediatrician in Hawaii. Christoph Turbovich of Castle Rock, Colorado, will work as a certified nursing aide and plans to marry his high school sweetheart, Hannah. Kyle Lucas of Thornton, Colorado, plans to become a physician assistant. Madison Rushatua plans to attend medical school and pursue orthopedics and sports medicine. Natalie Cates Ware of Littleton will continue working in the medical field, gaining clinical and research hours before applying to medical school. Katrine Gabriela Juarez from Firestone, Colorado, plans to apply to the Medical Laboratory Scientist program at Metro State University. Megan Argueso Knott from Edwards, Colorado, plans to work in research and public health laboratories to use her lab skills to help others. Elle Reagan Dusick of Fort Collins, Colorado, plans to continue her research on campus before attending medical school. Phoebe Zegers of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, plans to continue her education in a physician assistant or nursing program. Please join me in congratulating our BMS graduates. The following graduates of the Department of Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences will be greeted by undergraduate director, Dr. Joshua Schaefer. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Hyatt Vincent of Fort Collins plans to focus on her art and creativity before pursuing graduate school and a career in serving Indigenous communities. Nicole Madrid of Greeley plans to start a career focused on water quality and environmental toxicology. Kaylee Rees of Fort Collins plans to continue her internship at Tolmar in Fort Collins, Colorado. Brenna Wright of Boulder plans to take some time for herself to work somewhere in town, be outside often, and spend time with loved ones. Jordan Robinson of Medford, Oregon, plans to earn a PhD in epidemiology and research the health impacts of climate change. Cesar Padilla of Denver plans to pursue work in health and safety field. Please join me in congratulating our environmental health graduates.
It's your turn now. We're not sure if they're going to come here, Jenny. Well, Jenny can get over there too, or however you.
The following graduates of the Department of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology will be greeted by Department Head Dr. Naomi Ward. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Elizabeth Ninke from Golden, Colorado, aspires to explore the intricate realms of biotechnology, embracing her passion for research to contribute to scientific advancements and unravel the mysteries of the seen and unseen worlds. Grace Alexander from Temecula, California, plans to stay in Fort Collins and continue her research on Mycobacterium leprae and the SREBP pathway. Corinne Wilson from Carmel, Indiana, plans to attain a master's degree in human physiology before moving on to an MD specializing in infectious disease. Harley Degan from Chicago plans to pursue research focusing on largely unknown frontiers within prion biology and marine bacteriology. Terrence Bryan from Fort Collins plans to create a short film for the Telluride Film Festival, work as an EMT, and apply to medical school. Talia Celeste Janice Byrne Haber from Cupertino, California, plans to work as a researcher in industry for a few years before returning for a PhD. Sydney Fugate from Fort Collins plans to pursue a career in biotechnology and eventually earn a graduate degree. Samantha Pinto from San Ramon, California, plans to do a post-bac in research before applying for a job or a PhD in biotechnology or infectious disease. Erin M. Flaherty from Silt, Colorado, plans to spend time gaining experience and seeing the world before attending graduate school for a PhD. Sorry, Erin. Molly Ring from Washington, D.C. will be taking a post-bac position for a year at the National Institute of Health before pursuing a PhD in microbiology. Elaine Burshik from Fort Collins plans to become a lab technician. Megan Moran from Shawnee, Oklahoma, plans to attend graduate school for microbiology. Yeah. Tamsin S. Todd from Loveland, Colorado, plans to continue working at her current job in the microbiology department at Tolmar Inc., a small pharmaceutical company here in northern Colorado. Kyle Van Hudick from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, will be exploring different career options in the fields of veterinary medicine and biomedical research before pursuing an MS in biomedical sciences. Anna Owens from Littleton, Colorado, plans to attend graduate and medical school. Jessica Rachel Bankston from Fort Collins plans on becoming involved in pathology research in the hopes of bettering the quality of life for those who need it. Emily Lynn Haysacker from Ridgecrest, California, will be obtaining her phlebotomy certification at Front Range Community College and then continuing on to either Metro State or the University of Utah to pursue her medical laboratory sciences certification. Diana Jimenez from El Paso, Texas, plans to continue working at her current lab on campus after graduation. Catherine Perneski from Monument, Colorado, will be continuing at CSU to pursue a master's degree in journalism with the goal of working in science communication with the Centers for Disease Control or the World Health Organization abroad. Ada Budenhagen from Denver plans to move back to Denver to start a career in microbiology. Please join me in congratulating our microbiology graduates. The following graduates are from the undergraduate neuroscience program. This program is jointly sponsored by the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences and the College of Natural Sciences. Graduates will be greeted by Program Director Dr. Philip Quirk, and the congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Emily Stewart from Helotes, Texas, will be getting married and moving to Montana with her husband, who's active duty military, where she hopes to provide mental health and cardiovascular care to fellow military personnel. Kenyon Perkins from Loveland, Colorado, plans to attend graduate school for a PhD in neuroscience and become a researcher in academia in the area of neuropsychiatry. Liana May Tala Azrin from Olympia, Washington, plans to attend medical school to pursue a future as a physician. Samantha Weed from Castle Rock, Colorado, will be working as a research assistant in the area of food intake and disordered eating in Washington State and plans to earn a PhD in neuroscience in the future. Ashley Young from Littleton, Colorado, will be participating in a neuroscience internship in Vienna, Austria. Dane Rossler from Peoria, Illinois, plans to take a gap year to sleep before applying to optometry school. Josh Oriana Cisneros from Fort Collins, Colorado, plans to attend graduate school for electrical or biomedical engineering. Megan Elizabeth Wampler from Greeley, Colorado, will continue working as a CNA while completing medical school. She hopes to practice neurology and one day become a mom. Kylie Berry from Loveland, Colorado, plans to enter the medical field as a clinician or researcher. Tegan Smith from Palisade, Colorado, will be working as an EMT while applying to medical school. Sarah Jane Ramrick of Lafayette will spend her gap year becoming a clinical EMT and continue her research in traumatic brain injuries while pursuing her MD PhD. Please join me in congratulating our neuroscience graduates.
On behalf of the entire College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, I extend to all of our fall graduates congratulations on a job well done. We share your sense of achievement, pride, and accomplishment and satisfaction on this significant day. Now I would like to pay a tribute to a vital force in this university, a force of which each of you receiving a degree today is now a part. I'm referring to the Colorado State University Alumni Association. I'm pleased to call upon Dr. Philip Quirk, a Colorado State alumnus, to induct our newest alumni.
Thank you, Dr. Quackenbush. Hello, my name is Phil Quirk, and a number of years ago, I was sitting at a RAM commencement like you are today. In fact, a couple people sitting on the dais behind me were young faculty members at the time who played a significant role in sending me on the journey that ultimately brought me here before you today, and I thank them for that. Dr. Nerder, Dr. Clay's around here somewhere. Where is he? There he is. All right. I'll never forget how excited and proud I felt to finally get that diploma in my hand. But I also remember feeling a little bit sentimental, and to be honest, slightly nervous and a bit sad about leaving this beautiful campus and moving away from some of the greatest times of my life at Colorado State University. It may be time for all of you to write that next chapter, tackle that next adventure, and live your purpose. Everyone sitting here has a different path and a different future. Whether you stay in Fort Collins or travel to the ends of the earth, you all have one important thing in common with each other, and more than 250,000 others out there who have come before you. You are all alumni of Colorado State University. The class of 23 has one more common experience, earning your degree during a global pandemic. Remember that your most difficult challenges are the ones that expand our potential and unite those who overcame these obstacles together. We hope you're proud of your strength and your resilience and carry that with you always. When you leave this campus, be assured your university will not leave you. No matter where your personal and professional journey takes you, know that the CSU Alumni Association, your college, and your former professors will be here for you every step of the way. Based on personal experience, I promise you that the pride, excitement, and nervousness you're feeling right now will provide fuel for the road ahead. But eventually those feelings will change. They'll deepen, mix with memories, and turn into nostalgia. As that happens, remember that this is a special place, and it will always be your home. Like the rows of American elm trees on the Oval, you're rooted here. I'd like to be the first one to welcome you to the alumni family. Congratulations on a job well done, and go Rams!
I'm not drinking this because I'm going to talk that long. I just need a little refreshment. Thank you so much, Phil, and it's been a beautiful ceremony so far. Just a few closing remarks. But first, I'd like to take some time to recognize a very special group of attendees today. They were not specifically called out. The faculty and staff of the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, CVMBS. Many of our graduates today had a significant portion of their didactic and laboratory curriculum delivered during a pandemic. You'll all remember that in 1 week's time in March 2020, our faculty and staff reorganized lectures and laboratory work in order to deliver it in virtual format. The upheaval lasted well into 2021, impacting all of our graduates here today. While our efforts were not perfect, it is difficult to describe what this turn of events was like from the faculty and staff perspective. Lesson plans redrawn, developing familiarity with Zoom, learning best practices to teach to a screen of small squares, often without any identifying information. These were tremendously challenging tasks. Challenges to students were more than significant, which I'll address in my comments later, but simultaneously, our faculty were often managing complex family issues as they executed their educational duties with grace, dedication, and tremendous caring with the intent to provide the best circumstances possible for the students caught up in this unprecedented event. While the pandemic may seem like a distant memory in some ways, it has impacted our students and society in ways that continue to permeate our culture. Our faculty and staff have evolved to respond to the needs of students that have been tremendously impacted by the occurrence of a pandemic during their formative years. The patience, dedication, empathy, and encouragement of our educators is a significant factor in the success of the students who have graduated today. Will faculty and staff please stand so we can give you a round of applause for doing your absolute best and for your dedication to the students, no matter what the challenges of the day might be. Thank you. And now, speaking as the proud mother of 3 adult children that have collectively graduated 5 different college ceremonies, I think it is also appropriate that you, our new graduates, show your appreciation to some of the other individuals who have contributed so much to your achievements. Will the parents, spouses, family, and friends of the graduates please stand? Graduates, I ask that you also rise and take this opportunity. I really want to hear the encouragement, the gratitude and support you have for these remarkable and loving people here with you today. Let's hear it. Thank you so much. You can all be seated. Now I'd like to take a few minutes to thank 2 of our faculty who have had tremendous impact on the CVMBS undergraduate education who plan to enter emeritus status in 2024. First, Dr. Erica Suchman, University Distinguished Teaching Scholar from the Department of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology. Dr. Suchman, a virologist, joined CSU's Department of MIT in 1995 as a special appointment assistant professor. I've got a lot to say, so you're going to be standing for a while.
I'm probably going to start crying. Get ready.
Fast forward to 2010, when after 15 years of exemplary teaching of primarily undergraduates, Dr. Suchman was named University Distinguished Teaching Scholar and Professor, at the time only one of 12 such appointments at CSU. Over the course of her career, Dr. Suchman has had amazing impact. For example, as of last fall, she had delivered 47 semesters and 49 sections of her keystone course, Microbiology 300, reaching nearly 5,000 students. She has also managed to lead the way for outstanding laboratory instruction in our college, training many students in experiential techniques in microbiology and virology. Not only has Dr. Suchman herself had an impact on thousands of students directly, she has energetically guided and encouraged her peers to enhance their pedagogical skills and cajoled departmental and college administration to value STEM education delivery. She has done this via her position as CVMBS coordinator of the Master Teaching Initiative at CSU for 15 years and has established scientific pedagogical research as a pillar in our college. She has published more than 65 scholarly works on educational research and has won many prestigious awards. But despite these plaudits, what Dr. Suchman has truly imprinted on me and many in our college is her fierce advocacy of students and the student experience. One might even call her relentless in the pursuit of excellence in undergraduate education and in defending the academic ideal of student-centered learning and inclusive excellence. I so admire Dr. Suchman's spirit and willingness to speak her mind, to drive forward progress, and in my tenure as dean will do my best to emulate this conviction for the standards that I truly believe in. Thank you, Dr. Suchman, for all you have brought to our college, and best of luck to you in your retirement.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'd also like to recognize Associate Dean and Professor of MIP, Dr. Sandra Quackenbush, affectionately known to all of us as Q, for her contributions to the college and to every graduate today. Q attained her PhD from the Department of MIP, conducted postdoctoral training at Cornell University, and held her first faculty position at the University of Kansas. And we were incredibly fortunate to recruit her back here in 2004. Q conducted research in retrovirology in MIP, making important discoveries about mechanisms of host virus pathogenesis and discovering new viruses in bighorn sheep, Gunnison's prairie dogs, Atlantic salmon, marine turtles, and a few others. She was appointed Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs in 2015. She'll be stepping down from this position early 2024, and a search is ongoing to identify her successor. Q has tirelessly led the college's teaching mission during the pandemic, compiling spreadsheets about classroom capacities and student enrollments, identifying and distributing appropriate PPE across the college to ensure in-person lecture and laboratory courses were safe for our students. She's a born leader who consistently acts with integrity and laser focus to promote student learning, success, and well-being. Her open-minded, innovative, and can-do attitude has expanded the CVMBS undergraduate profile to enroll nearly 1,000 students, and she's promoted research opportunities for undergraduates, leading to many successes and career opportunities for our students. The Colorado State University fight song is Stalwart Rams. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, stalwart means loyal, especially for a long time, and able to be trusted, strong, tough, and tenacious. While I have to admit I've not been a particular fan of the word stalwart, I concede that these are great attributes for an individual, and I cannot think of a more fitting person that embodies these traits than our humble Q. Can we all give this incredible individual, who is tremendously embarrassed right now, a rousing ovation for her quiet work and persistent dedication? Thank you all. Sorry those were long, but it was just hard to cut out any of those details about these two amazing people. So back to the students. The majority of you all graduating today were admitted or certainly were completing your degree during the throes of the COVID pandemic. I've recounted in detail what faculty were experiencing during that time, and without further belaboring the fact that this was likely the weirdest time any of us have ever experienced this type of thing, I'd like to thank you, the students, for your persistence, patience, resilience, and grace. It was certainly a challenge for you, and congratulations on being here now. I'll focus my last few remarks on the name of our college, which those in the audience would have variously paid attention to. It is, of course, the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, usually referred to as CVM-BS. Truth be told, most people think of us as the CVM part. We are often referred to nationally, publicly, and within CSU as the Vet College. One of my qualifications to be your dean is my veterinary degree, as this is a requirement of the organization that accredits our veterinary curriculum. However, I am a devotee, and in many ways, more at home with the BS part of CVMBS, possibly in more ways than one. Last spring, we were ranked as the #2 veterinary school in the nation. The methodology, go ahead, we can. The methodology used by U.S. News and World Report to determine this honor is far from scientifically objective. It is more or less a reputational ranking determined by votes from each of the veterinary colleges in the U.S. While the scientist in me is skeptical of the veracity of this methodology, I take tremendous pride in the fact that peer institutions consider us to be slaps, fire, dope, goat, lit, and hot. Terms I understand mean cool and awesome to people in Gen Z, which I believe many of you belong to. And why is our reputation among our peers so positively ranked? I believe that what sets us apart from our peers and earns us this top tier of respect is the second part of our name, biomedical sciences. because of its associated research, educational, and scholarly success. Paraphrasing Wikipedia, and you might notice I like definitions here, biomedical sciences is a set of sciences applying portions of natural or formal science to develop knowledge, interventions, or technology that are of use in healthcare or public health. Biomedical sciences include those sciences whose disciplines whose primary focus is the biology of human health and diseases and ranges from generic study to more specialized subject areas, underpinned by relevant basic sciences including anatomy and physiology, cell biology, biochemistry, microbiology, environmental health, genetics, and other related topics. That definition goes on to say, the biomedical sciences have a much wider range of academic and research activities and economic significance than that defined by hospital laboratory sciences, and are the major focus of biomedical research and funding in the 21st century. Our biomedical sciences attributes are phenomenal. Besides supporting education of over 900 outstanding students, biomedical sciences represents the lion's share of our research engine. Our three basic science departments, biomedical sciences, environmental and radiological health sciences, and microbiology, immunology, and pathology, enjoy astonishing research success. Faculty in the CVMBS departments with these undergraduate concentrations successfully completed for 258 extramural research grants totaling more than $46.5 million just in 2023. This work has enabled discoveries and inquiry in laboratories that study topics from Alzheimer's disease to Zika virus, and many of these labs employ undergraduate researchers to complete this critical work. Our undergraduate program, delivered by world-class faculty, such as the two we have just heard about, and world-class students, such as the two that gave us a formal address today, is a primary driver of CVMBS's national reputation. Of the approximately 36 veterinary colleges recognized by the American Veterinary Medical Association, fewer than half a dozen support an undergraduate degree program. And our undergraduates are leaders in our research initiatives. Our course-based undergraduate research labs enroll approximately 40 students a year in applied research laboratory coursework that contributes to important discoveries. This spring, at CSU's main undergraduate research symposium, the CURC, Celebrate Undergraduate Research and Creativity, CSU's, there were 76 presentations by CVMBS students out of a total of the 278 submissions, or 27%. This far exceeds the proportion of undergraduate students that are enrolled here in our major relative to other undergraduate majors. And our students received 24 of 70 total awards, which was more than a third of the awards at that ceremony. Our students also win national awards, such as prestigious Goldwater and astronaut scholarships, and go on to professional and graduate schools. And as you heard today, many of them are destined for the medical profession in medical school. You graduates are now among these ranks, and you have many bright, exciting things in front of you. Setting U.S. News & World Report aside, I believe that CSU CVMBS is actually the best college of veterinary medicine and biomedical sciences in the world. So why did I decide to focus on this topic today? Because I want you, as CVMBS alumni, to know that you are an incredible attribute for our reputation. We are great because of you. As you move into the next phase of your career, many people will ask you about your history. Where are you from? Where did you go to school? What was your major? I suggest or recommend, or no, I actually request that when you are asked that question, you say, I graduated from the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, i.e. CVM BS, the #1 college of its type in the world. Be proud of what you have helped us to be, and thank you for what you have contributed to our excellence. Best wishes as you proceed into your careers, well equipped to fulfill this legacy. So this concludes our wonderful December graduation ceremony. I now ask that members of the audience please remain seated while the platform group, students, and faculty leave the ballroom as the CSU alma mater is performed by the CSU Brass Ensemble. Thank you for being with us today. Please meet your graduates out in the lobby following the conclusion. Thank you.
What order did these? Order. You're supposed to read and flip. Read and flip. Okay, it's okay. No, you're good. I'll have to. Right. Okay. You're gone. Yes, that's what I'm thinking too. Wait, so these are the micro ones? You're good. You go enjoy the graduates.